Three middle-aged women take a trip together as they deal with heartbreak and personal struggles. Cecile is a jobless mom with two teenage kids, and life hasn't been easy for her. They are heading to her vacation home to clean it out and get it ready to sell. The one driving is Elise, a caring mom who constantly updates her daughter, while on the passenger seat is Sonia, who is caught up with her lover named Pascal, who keeps telling her that he'll leave his wife soon, though he never does. A while later, Elise notices a car is tailgating them, so she tells Sonia to take the wheel so she can flash to them her milk station, only for it to backfire when they find out that the men in the car are actually cops. Elise loses her license, and they end up taking the taxi. They later arrive at the house, which seems to have been abandoned for years. When they go upstairs, the three women are shocked when they find a huge pelican sitting in one of the rooms. The next day, they begin cleaning, but they are still struggling to get rid of the pelican. Already tired of the work, Elise suggests they have a break and go sailing tomorrow. During the sailing trip, two young instructors named Paul and Julian notice them. To get their attention, Paul playfully tosses a kid into the water, and when the three turn to look, Paul takes off his shirt, leaving the thirsty mothers openly drooling. He then rescues the kid while Elise and Sonia come over to check them out. After confirming that the kid is alright, Paul starts flirting with the women, and the two respond with playful smiles. Back on the shore, Cecile's old friend named Marie runs into them. She is happy to see Cecile, and while they are talking, the women notice a hunk named Thomas jogging on the beach. Marie knows the guy, so she introduces him to the ladies. The two start flirting with him, but Cecile kills the vibe by saying that jogging at noon is dangerous at their age. That evening, the two ladies head out to a bar. Sonia feels a bit guilty about leaving Cecile at home, but Elise says that she's probably asleep by now. Unbeknownst to them, Cecile is just crying the whole night while listening to sad music and thinking about her husband. Sonia and Elise are about to enter the club when they are stopped by the moody Louise, likely because of their age. Moments later, Paul and his friends arrive and help them get in. Inside, Elise invites them to have a drink, but Julian says he can't afford the drinks there, with Marcus admitting that they drank before coming in. Being the loaded sugar mommies they are, Elise and Sonia offer to buy the drinks for them. Moments later, everyone hits the dance floor, with the boys pairing up with the hot mamas. After dancing, Julian invites the women to an after-party, but the old ladies say they would be heading home. Before they could leave, Paul stands up and shares a passionate kiss with Elise. When they get home, Elise and Sonia find their friend sleeping on the floor, surrounded by half-finished jigsaw. The drunk women quietly laugh as they head to their room. The next day, Paul and Julian watch the three hot mamas playing volleyball at the beach, and moments later, Thomas joins them, making the guys jealous. He later comes along to Cecile's place and offers to purchase the house if the buyers back out. Sonia asks Thomas about his son, but his response offends her as it implies she can't relate because she doesn't have kids. Moments later, the young lads arrive, and Cecile is surprised to see that Marcus has grown up. She invites the guys to join them for dinner, but Thomas clearly isn't pleased. He makes a snide remark about them being broke, which doesn't sit well with the group. Before leaving, he throws one last insult at the young guys, but Elise quickly steps in to diffuse the tension. As she walks him to the door, she tells him she's had enough of his condescending attitude. That evening, everyone enjoys a drink while laughing and chatting together, everyone except Cecile. Their jokes don't sit well with her, so she quietly leaves the table. While she's on the phone with her daughter, Marcus comes over to toss out some pizza boxes. It turns out he used to babysit Cecile's kids. They later share a bottle of champagne while walking outside and reminiscing about the past. Things are getting steamy between Paul and Elise, while across the room, Sonia lounges on the couch, waiting for Julian to make his move. Moments later, she gets a voice message from her lover Pascal. She is visibly disturbed by what she heard. Her lover is disgustingly screwing another woman. Sonia breaks down in tears, and Cecile is overwhelmed herself, so she grabs a bottle and starts drinking straight from it. She then impulsively suggests they all go out to find some ice cream. Since it's the middle of the night, all the ice cream shops are closed. In a bold move, Cecile breaks into a freezer and grabs a huge tub of ice cream. The women hop in the car and go for a night drive, happily enjoying their stolen treat. There's not enough room in the car, so Julian ends up carrying Sonia on his lap, which leads to an embarrassing accident on his part. Trying to recover from the awkward moment, he asks Marcus to stop the car, and he steps out along with the other guys. The two notices that his pants is wet, and they immediately realize what happened. The women later head to a nearby lake. They throw caution to the wind and go skinny dipping in the middle of the night. But afterward, Cecile realizes that she locked the car keys in the trunk, which won't open. With no choice, they get inside through the car's roof and spend a cold night with nothing on. The next morning, Thomas, who is out for his usual jog, finds them. Even though Elise is still angry at him, she asks for his help, and he manages to unlock the trunk. Back at the house, Cecile is upset to find that her bracelet, which was engraved with her husband Lawrence's name, is missing. While they are looking for it, Elise receives a provocative picture from Paul. Later that night, she sneaks out of the house and goes to Paul's place where she shares a passionate night with the young lad. The next day, Paul shares his wild experience with the old lady, and he strongly advises Julian to do it already with Sonia. A while later, the six of them went to the restaurant to eat ice cream again, but the store owner says they can no longer serve one because someone had broken into his freezer. He is looking for a guy named Laurent, because that was the name written on the bracelet he found on the freezer. Realizing the bracelet is hers, Cecile chooses to stay quiet rather than risk being exposed. A while later, the moody girl Louise approaches them and challenges the grannies to a horseback race by the shore. The three quickly accepts the challenge, and during the race, Louise tries to cheat by kicking Sonia's horse, but she's the one who ends up falling. In the end, Cecile wins the race, and everyone cheered for her. After the race, the group stops by at the guy's place. Sonia mentions going to Spain tomorrow to follow her lover, and this breaks Julian's heart. He tries to kiss the lady, but she steps back. The ladies return home, and as Sonia gets ready for bed, Julian climbs up to her balcony to spend one last night with her. Moments later, Sonia receives a text from her lover, saying he has to return home and won't be able to meet her in Spain. She breaks down in tears, and Julian gently comforts her. She suddenly gets up and kisses Julian, until they end up sharing a romantic night together. With Paul and Elise in one room, and Julian and Sonia in the other, Cecile spends the night alone in the living room. The next morning, Julian accidentally answers Sonia's phone, thinking it is his. Sonia later finds out that it was her lover who was calling. Julian apologizes, but Sonia just smiles and starts kissing him again. Back at the beach bar, Paul brags about his time with Elise, but Marcus suspects that he is just stretching the truth. Paul asks Julian about his experience last night, but Julian prefers to be respectful and doesn't talk about it. The women enjoy their time in the beach with their boys, except for Cecile, who is left on the shore alone. Marcus later joins her, but as he tries to make conversation, Cecile keeps her distance. She eventually opens about the embarrassment of being seen with a much younger guy. Marcus brushes it off, making her smile when he says that people won't think that because she looks just as young. Sonia tells Elise that she wants to end things with Julian before it becomes more than just a fling. She is determined to do it now, but she only ends up getting intimate with him and fails to go through with the breakup. Back at the house, Elise and Sonia notices Cecile's new necklace, and the faithful mom says it's a gift for Marcus. Her friends start teasing her, but Cecile claims it means nothing. A while later, Cecile and Marcus head out to do some shopping, and the two become closer to each other. Meanwhile at home, Elise invites Paul to come with her to Paris, but Paul seems hesitant in the idea. He starts checking his phone more often and is becoming more distant. That is when Elise realizes that he was never planning to take things further. Sonia sees her crying in the kitchen, and she comforts her. Sonia and Elise plan one last party before Cecile sells the house. While preparing for the party, Cecile and Marcus continue to exchange flirtatious glances. The party kicks off, and everyone's having fun. Cecile and Marcus enjoy each other's company, but Paul isn't with Elise, as he's now busy flirting with younger women. Seeing her heartbroken friend, Sonia realizes she can't hold on to hope with Julian either. She later tells him they can no longer keep seeing each other, and this breaks the young guy's heart. A while later, Paul finally ends it with Elise, telling her he's not the relationship type and doesn't want to hurt her feelings by leading her on. Though it hurt, Elise accepts this, and they share one final hug. Meanwhile, things are getting steamy between Cecile and Marcus as they share a romantic dance together. Sonia later finds Julian near a cliff, about to do something dangerous. She says that she will jump with him, but she slips and hurts her ankle, forcing Julian to come down. They both start crying while hugging each other. The next morning, Cecile announces that she will no longer sell the house, and her friends quickly realize that she will now be staying there with Marcus. Moments later, the big pelican that was staying in her room finally flies away, knowing that Cecile would no longer be alone. Did you like our movie recap? Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. To be updated for new movie recaps, hit the notification bell.